I used to be a doormat. I used to let people walk all over me, stomp, wipe their feet, whatever. People were walking all over me. I was not firm in my own values. I was not firm in my authentic self expression. I was a doormat and people walked all over me. I'm sure there are so many people out there in the world right now, or in the world, not out there, in here, that feel the exact same way. They feel like a doormat. So I want to share some lessons and some of my experiences and some of my stories of being a doormat in the past, and I'm not a doormat anymore. Or maybe I'm not as much of a doormat. I always like to be welcoming. Doormats are welcoming. I like to be welcoming. I don't want to have like a standoffish attitude. Maybe that's kind of how I started this video with, kind of feeling that energy flow through. But no, I used to be a doormat. Why am I not a doormat anymore? Because I've learned to develop a backbone. I've learned to develop some self-confidence. I've learned to develop some self-esteem. One of the main reasons that I was a doormat was that I had no self-esteem. I had no confidence. I had no idea what I was doing, who I was. I had no self-awareness. So anytime somebody would stand up to me, I'd always just back down and let them have their way. And now I don't want to make it seem like at the point where like I want to be dominating and controlling everything. That's not the point of this. The point of this is that I had to learn to take my power back. I had to learn to increase my self-confidence, to grow myself up to the point where I knew my worth. I knew my boundaries. I knew what I would respect and I knew what I would not respect. And there's certain behavior that I don't tolerate anymore that I used to tolerate. Damn. That's one of the main things. One of the main things is that when you're a doormat, you'll basically tolerate any behavior. Any behavior towards you or any behavior towards your friends or family or anything, even if you know that it's wrong. Even if you know that it's wrong, because you just let people walk all over you. I used to be spineless. I mean, not actually spineless, because then I wouldn't survive, but like metaphorically spineless, metaphorically letting people walk all over me, and it wasn't fun. You saw those results, or maybe not you saw those results, but I saw those results in my daily life. My life was not really fun when I was just getting walked all over. And now I don't want to turn this into some sob story because, it became a comedy. A tragedy plus time equals comedy. I can laugh about it now. I can look back on my past self and be like, yeah, I was weak. I let people walk all over me. And I find that funny now because I'm in a situation now where I've learned to stand up for myself and speak up for myself. And I always used to be so shy and just pessimistic and sad and depressed and, whatever you say is best and I'll just do it your way. And then when I did it their way, my life was terrible. I had terrible mental health. And I really just want to share this because, again, there are so many people in the world right now that feel like doormats, that let people walk all over them. And I just want to say that it's not your fault. It wasn't my fault that I was a doormat. It wasn't my fault that I had no self-esteem. I don't want to blame it onto other people. Now I take full responsibility, but like when you're 12 years old and you're a doormat, you don't know any better because you didn't take a class in school like how to stand up for yourself. How to have a spine. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Whew. Life is crazy. But I don't want you to swing in the opposite way, in the opposite direction, and be... Here's an interesting dichotomy. I don't even know if that's the right word. It's just a word that popped into my mind. Gosh. All right, think about it like this. You don't want to be a doormat and let people walk all over you, but you also don't want to be a bully that walks over other people. It's a fine balance between these two things. Now that I've experienced being a doormat and I have so much empathy for that, I cannot imagine being a person who just walks over everybody else, who doesn't even understand that other people have feelings, other people have emotions, other people have such low self-confidence because our society doesn't really instill self-confidence into people. I don't know if you've noticed this, but first of all, when you start in school doesn't really instill self-confidence in kids. You take these multiple choice tests and you fill in the bubbles and you get a score that's supposed to represent your worth as a human being. Some people say, no, it doesn't represent your worth as a human being. It's just a test score. People take this stuff really personally. You'd be surprised how many people are very bright, but for some reason they're not good test takers, and they take it to heart, and oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow. Oh my gosh. All right, we're back. I don't know what just happened there, but I really just learned to stand up for myself. And that's the bottom of the line, or the bottom line of the story. I learned to stand up for myself. And I'm not going to lie, it's not easy to learn to stand up for yourself, especially if you're somebody like me who had no self-esteem, who the norm that you kind of accepted in your life was letting people walk all over you. It's not easy. I don't want to pretend like it is easy. I don't want to pretend like there's some magic pill. Of course, taking full responsibility is one of those things that can help. Making a bold, courageous claim like, I will not let people walk over me anymore, or I will not be a doormat, or I will stand up for myself. It's easy to say these things, but there are so many situations that you face throughout your entire day where that decision that you made gets tested. If you make a very firm decision, you might remember it more consciously, but there are scenarios where it's extremely hard to stand up for yourself. And also, again, to find this thin balance, this fine balance between standing up for yourself, not being a doormat, but also not being a bully and infringing on other people's mat. Or I don't know. You know, being a doormat, people walk all over you. They wipe your feet on you. They wipe their dirty feet on you. They wipe their dirt on you. They hit you outside when they need to clean you. Yeah. Wonder what that even means. I guess it just means like I was just very passive. I guess that's what it was. I took a very passive role in my life, and now I choose to take an active role where I'm co-creating what is in my path. And I guess I was always co-creating it, but I was not consciously co-creating it. I was unconsciously co-creating it. And so I got the results that other people wanted me to get, the people that were walking all over me. Now, I don't want to say names and call out names. It's not really anybody in specific. It was really just everybody. But again, it wasn't them. It was my behavior, my passive behavior, my shy behavior, my fearful behavior. Because ultimately, it all really came down to fear. This is going to get deep. It all came down to fear because I was afraid to stand up for myself. It's not that I couldn't. Maybe I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the speaking skills that I have now. I didn't have the emotional intelligence, the self-awareness that I have now. Those surely help, but I guess with the self-awareness also comes the love. The love. And now that I have the love, it's easier for me to stand up for myself. But again, when I was a doormat, letting people walk all over me, it was out of fear. I was just like, all right, I'll let them walk all over me because I don't want them to blank. I don't want them to think about me as being weird. I don't want them to think about me as being not a doormat. I don't know. Stand up for yourself. Find that thin balance. Gosh, I think I'm crying. Gosh, tears of joy. Beautiful. This is some beautiful poetry right now. Oh, there's a bug in here. This is too much fun. Should do this more often. All right. See, I don't want to let that bug walk all over me. No. I don't want to let the outside world. It's really what it is. Taking responsibility for yourself, saying, I'm not going to let the outside world stomp all over me. Because ultimately, if you're passive, like I was, you choose to be a doormat, the outside world will step all over you. I've experienced it. I'm sure many other people have experienced it. Maybe if you're watching this, let me know some of your stories in the comments section. That's really at the end of the day. If you allow the outside world to stomp all over you, it will. But if you stand up for yourself, you stand tall, you stand firm, it'll still try to walk over you. It'll still try to stomp all over you, but you'll show some resistance. I guess that's just my 2 cents on the matter. And again, it's not easy. It requires patience, like we talked about earlier in a different video, different class. This bug's still in here. All right, I got it that time. That right there is exactly the embodiment of what I was talking about. That bug was getting in the way. That bug was trying to. Gosh, so many life lessons. So many life lessons and not enough teachers to teach them. What can we do? What can we do? I really feel as though I let the whole school system stomp all over me. In an interesting, weird way. I want to use the word dichotomy again. I'm going to have to look it up after I finish this video because I have no idea what it means. I don't want to pretend like I just know everything because I don't. I know a lot of stuff that I've learned from my personal experience that I want to share. Like that's why I love talking about this doormat stuff. Because there are so many people like me who are doormats. I was a doormat. Hi, my name is Professor Wolfie, and I used to be a doormat. Here's my story. I used to be a doormat, and it was sad. My life was really sad. Now I'm happy. Now I'm happy that I found my values, and I found something to be grounded in. That's a big thing that I'll always talk about, is just finding values that you can be grounded in, higher consciousness values. But again, I don't want to pretend like it was easy. Like, it took me 20 to 30 hours of deep self-work to come up with this list of values. But it's made all the difference. And one of the reasons why I am who I am today, no longer a doormat. And I don't even say this to brag in any way. I stand very humble. I don't want this to turn into, again, finding this fine balance. You don't want to be like super arrogant. You want to find this balance between confidence and humility. Find this balance between not letting people walk all over you, but not walking over other people, respecting people's boundaries. Even though these boundaries are sometimes blurred, people think they know what's best for you. You think you know what's best for them. Realistically, you don't know what's best for them. They don't know what's best for you. You can take their opinion into account. You can take their 2 cents, put it in your mental pocket change. I don't even know. You can take their 2 cents into account, but at the end of the day, don't let people walk all over you.